with Steve Gil. Steve?
Gary, 50 years ago was the Miracle Mets season, 1969. They're going to be celebrating it all season long, and it starts today. Ed Kranepool to my right, Art Shamsky to my left. And guys, can you believe that it's been that long? Does it feel like it's been 50 years?
Well, you know, for Eddie and I, we're in the New York City area, so we hear about it all the time. You know, it's a team that people have passed on about the legacy from generation to generation, and it is 50 years. But for us, I think it doesn't seem like it's been that long because we hear about it so much. But it's been a great 50 years, and hopefully, you know, this year will be a fantastic time for all of us. The Mets are going to be doing a bunch of things, and we're down here in spring training today, enjoying the stuff and meeting some of the young players. For me, it was a great day today.
You know, Art, you came to the team one season before, but Ed here was through all the trials and tribulations early on. That 1969 season was the first time the Mets were even above 500 at the end of the year. What was so different about that year?
Well, I think it all started in spring training, and that's when it all starts. Gil Hodges was our leader from '68, and then he came back in '69. And he really changed the culture of the Mets. He wanted to bring a winning culture in there, and he taught us how to play the game. And you have to learn how to play, and you do that in Florida. You set the tone right here, and that's what the Mets have to do with this ball club. They've made a lot of trades, and they're looking to improve themselves, and I think they have.
You say he changed the culture in spring training. How did he do that?
Well, he went around the field and said, this is the way we're supposed to play the game. Fundamentally, you got to be a sound ball club. Defensively, you don't make mistakes. Offensively, you move the runners along. You score whenever you can. And with our pitching staff, if you keep the games close, you got a chance of winning. And obviously, we did. We had a great pitching staff, a lot of good arms, and struck out a lot of people, which means the ball's not in play. And our defense was pretty good. So when they did hit the ball, we were able to make the plays.
Art, we spoke with all three of you, Ed, and Cleon, who was here as well, and we're going to hear from him a little bit later on in the broadcast. You guys were here yesterday talking a lot about Gil Hodges and how you all thought he should be in the Hall of Fame. I know that's a widely held belief amongst Mets fans, but why does he deserve that nod?
Well, he was a terrific ball player to begin with in the 50s, and was a great defensive first baseman. And I know he didn't have the real high top batting average, but if you look at his stats comparable to Orlando Cepeda, Ron Santo, and Tony Perez, he's right in that mix with those guys. And of course, we played for him. We saw a different side of him. There's no doubt in my mind that he would have won more championships had he lived longer. And of course, when he died so young, it just didn't give him a chance to really kind of prove himself as a manager more. And I think that really hurt him. But we know, Eddie and I and all the guys that played for him, that he was a terrific manager. He managed by feel. These guys don't manage by feel anymore. It's really about knowing the game and knowing that at some point he's going to have to use that guy who's at the end of the bench, and was able to do that and get the most out of everybody, as witnessed by all the positions he platooned in. And while we didn't like it generally, it worked for us, and it worked for the team. That was the most important thing.
That 1969 season wasn't just special for Mets fans, but it was so special for all of New York. As Culberson... All right, good. He doesn't ground into it in any double play, so I can get this question in. But it was special for all of New York. The Jets win the championship. The Knicks in 69-70, that season, they win the championship. You've written a book about that. What was it like to be a part of that group of New York athletes that brought such a special time to the city?
What's interesting about those three teams is all of us won for the first time, and of course the Jets haven't won since. But it was three great teams led by great managers or coaches. And the first book I wrote was The Magnificent Seasons, about that period of time and what was going on in the city and the country and the world. And this next book I have coming out after The Miracle, which will be out in March, is really about a 50-year reminiscing about the year and visiting with teammates and talking about how that year impacted all our lives. And it's just more of a kind of a, not day-to-day what happened in that game, etc., but really about a feeling that happened for all of us who were part of that team.
Ed, before we let you go, I want to make sure we get this out there. I know you're still looking for that kidney. How are you feeling, and what can people do if they're interested in finding out if they can help?
Well, we certainly still soliciting a kidney. We haven't reached, an organ donor yet, and if we do have one out there, we hope they contact either Stony Brook Hospital or Hackensack Hospital. These are two hospitals I'm working with to get a donor.
Well, Ed Kranepool, Art Shamsky, so great to spend time with you today. Great to spend time with you this weekend, and we look forward to a great season celebrating your absolutely remarkable year. All right, guys, we'll be back with Mets baseball after this.